Hi, my name is Holly Jackson, and I'm going to be doing a quick screencast on CoSpaces. CoSpaces is an app that your students can use for creation and collaboration, which is really cool that students can get in there and collaborate to create a virtual reality environment. So, if you're familiar with Google Cardboard or any virtual reality headset, this might make bringing virtual reality into your classroom a little bit more accessible. So let me go ahead and get started on the actual tool. With CoSpaces, it's really easy to sign up. You can use a Google login. I'm going to go ahead and hit login because I've signed up already. So again, what CoSpaces allows your students to do, it allows them to create a virtual reality environment. So if you have any of those projects where it would be beneficial for students to create an environment, this would be very helpful. You can see that they start with a blank canvas, and I'll just kind of go through the little tools up at the top and around the project. You can see that you have your home button. That will take us to the screen I was just at. You have an undo and redo button. You have a place where you can have new spaces or slides for several projects that can be going on or several parts of a project. You can rename your project here. So say I'm creating, I saw a really cool one in here the other day. They were creating the Lord of the Flies setting. They were creating the island that the Lord of the Flies takes place on. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I've named it, and you can see the name right here. You can share once you're finished. And you can see that before we even get started how easy this is to share. You can have a direct link that can be pasted into your learning management system like Google Classroom. You can also embed this on a website if you have like a Weebly or a Wix website. And you have a QR code so students could have these printed and students could essentially interact with each other's CoSpaces that they created by using a QR scanner. So this could be a lot of fun. Go ahead and hit back. I'm going to open my project back up. All right, I'm going to click on the buttons down here in the bottom left. You see that you have some things that you can add and create. So you can add all sorts of characters and different things. Let's see. They don't have a wild boar. I need that for Lord of the Flies. But you can see that you can add things like houses and spaces. You basically just to add something, you just drag and drop it into the space. Now you can see that's really big, so I'm going to zoom a little bit. You have an infinite space to play in. So if we zoom out a little bit, I have two houses now. You see that there's a little box on the top of the house. That allows you to do some things as far as space. And then if I double click on my house, I can do a lot with it. I can name the house. If I click this toggle, it will let the name be shown. So if you wanted students to have a place where they had things labeled. If it's a character, you can have it speak or think something. So those of you that do comic books, this might be a new way to do the comic book. You can change the color of the house. So if they don't have a blue house, maybe they have a brown house, green house. You can change the orientation of the house. I can just show you. Doesn't make much sense to do that to your house. You can scale it. So if you want it larger, smaller. The elevation will actually lift it off the ground. If you're doing a little Wizard of Oz, right? Lift it off the ground. And then you can lock it. So that's helpful. Then this is also helpful if you wanted to duplicate anything that you created. So if you were creating like a whole neighborhood and you wanted to quickly be able to do that. If you click on this little ring, you can see that you can spin your item. The arrow allows you to just drag it around a little bit. So that's helpful. Let's take a look at what else we have down here. Have things throughout. So they give you a lot of little gadgets that you can already add. They have ones that are a little bit more, I don't know what to say, like whitewashed, I guess you could say. So if you wanted like a black and white environment, or a lot of these things can be customized. So if I had an angel, you can actually change her color just like you would anything else. So you can change how they look. Okay. So let's see what else we have here. Those of you that are into Minecraft, I've seen students create some really cool things just with the blocks on CoSpaces, and you may limit your students to that if you want them to be a little bit more creative and create things themselves. If they wanted to add text throughout here and label things, they can do that. You can also just insert flat shapes by doing that. So that would be great for like a floor. You can search for images on the web. So say that I wanted a wild boar in my world. You see that I have lots of images of wild boars that I can insert in here. So if, go ahead and get this guy in the mud. Just like anything else in the space, you can change the size. You can move it side to side. It looks kind of like a billboard to me. It's not a three-dimensional object like the objects that they have, but that's still pretty cool that you can add your own things. Let me come back to here. So you can search for images, which is really nice. And then you can purchase images, and I haven't gathered how you get credits for this yet. I think maybe just by use it came with some credits, so if your students were looking for something fun, there might be something specific that they can purchase in here. This is really helpful. You can change the environment. So if you wanted this to be set in a little village or out in the tundra, you can see that I was able to add an environment to my setting. Not very appropriate for Lord of the Flies, though. Let's see if we get something a little bit more green. I see I'm moving out a little bit. And what did I do? Could have some technical difficulties. I come back in. I got zoomed in. Let's see if we can move out here. There we go. So this environment is a lot of fun. Once students are finished creating, I can get zoomed out. And I did it again. They can also add certain things in here as far as like videos and photos that they have of their own, so that's nice as well. Once they're finished, you can share, like I said before, and what makes this really powerful is the use of a Google Cardboard. Let me just go ahead and show you a little bit about Google Cardboard. Google Cardboard is a tool that you can purchase that's pretty inexpensive. It's about $12, I believe, on Amazon. And there's all sorts of VR things you can do with these little Google Cardboards. And so a lot of people are creating these so that students can use them with phones. Put your phone in there and you can walk through and experience the world that they just created in virtual reality. So that's the whole design behind this. Let's take a look at some CoSpaces that were already created. Come back here. Because mine didn't turn out as pretty as I would have liked it to. So let's go to the gallery. You can see some that students have created. There's the Lord of the Flies one I was talking about. This one's way better than the one I just created. So you can see here that a student has created, or maybe the teacher did, created the Lord of the Flies setting. And what's neat about this is when you're watching it in the headset, you can actually like explore the different parts of the setting, which is really neat. So having students recreate the setting might be a really valuable project. All right, so that's one that I think is really neat. You can see that a lot of teachers are using this, because there's lots of neat ones. Here's a really cool one with Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. Here's a Monopoly game that someone created. So you can see that the creativity possibilities are pretty endless. You can do lots and lots of things with them. So I encourage you to create with CoSpaces. See if you like it. If it's something that you use in the classroom, tweet one of us. My Twitter handle is @Ms. Jackson, so I'll show you that so you can tweet me. Tweet me and show me what you've created with CoSpaces, because we want to start the conversation and see and share out some different things that we're creating. So let me know how CoSpaces goes. If you have Google Cardboards in your classroom, how you use them, we would love to hear from you. The hashtag that we like to start conversations with in our district is #HCSPDL. So if you're going to have the conversation, throw in that hashtag so that we can all join in. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope this was a helpful screencast for you.